Flossie and the Fox by Patricia McKenzie. Flossie! The sound of Big Mama's voice floated past the cabins in Sophie's quarters, round the smokehouse, beyond the chicken coop, all the way down to Flossie Finley. Flossie tucked away her straw doll in a hollow log. Then she hurried to answer her grandmother's call. "Here I am, Big Mama," Flossie said after catching her breath. It was hot, hotter than a usual Tennessee August day. Big Mama stopped sorting peaches and wiped her hands and face with her apron. "Take these to Miss Viola over at the Cutchins' place." She's reaching behind her and handing Flossie a basket of fresh eggs. "Seems like they've been troubled by a fox. Miss Viola's chickens be so scared they can't even lay a stone." Big Mama clicked her teeth and shook her head. "Why come Mr. J.W. can't catch the old fox with his dogs?" Flossie asked, putting a peach in her apron pocket to eat later. "Every time they corner that old slickster, he gets away. I'll tell you, that fox is one sly critter." "How do a fox look?" Flossie asked. "I just remember ever seeing one." Big Mama had to think a bit. "Child, a fox, he just a fox. But one thing for sure, that rascal loves eggs. He'd do most anything to get at eggs." Flossie tucked the basket under her arm and started on her way. "Don't tarry now," Big Mama called, "and be particular about them eggs." "Yes'm," Flossie answered. The way through the woods was shorter and cooler than the road route under the open sun. "What if I come to a fox?" thought Flossie. "Oh well, a fox is just a fox. That ain't too scary." Flossie commenced to skipping along, and she come to a critter she couldn't recollect ever seeing. He was sitting aside the road like he was expecting somebody. Flossie skipped right up to him and nodded greeting the way she'd been taught to do. "Top of the morning to you, little missy," the critter replied. "What's your name?" "I be Flossie Finley," she answered with a proper curtsy. "I reckon I don't know who you be either." Slowly the animal circled around Flossie. "I'm a fox," he answered, all the time eyeing the basket of eggs. He stopped in front of Flossie, smiled a smile as best a fox can, and bowed. "At your service." Flossie rocked back on her heels, then up on her toes, back and forward, carefully studying the creature who was claiming to be a fox. "Nope," she said at last. "I just purely don't believe it." "You don't believe what?" Fox asked, looking away from the basket of eggs for the first time. "I don't believe you be a fox, that's what." Fox's eyes flashed anger. Then he grumbled softly. "My dear child," he said, sounding right disgusted, "of course I'm a fox. A little girl like you should be simply terrified of me. Whatever do you teach children these days?" Flossie tossed her head in the air. "Well, whatever you are, you sure think a heap of yourself," she said, skipping away. Fox looked shocked. "Wait!" he called. "You mean you're not frightened? Not just a bit?" Flossie stopped. Then she turned and said, "I ain't never seen a fox before, so why should I be scared of you?" I don't even know you're a real fox, for a fact. Fox pulled himself tall. He cleared his throat. Are you saying I must offer proof that I'm a fox before you'll be frightened of me? That's just what I'm saying. Little Flossie skipped on through the piney woods, where Fox fella rushed away, looking for whatever he needed to prove he was really who he said he was. Meanwhile, Flossie stopped to rest beside a tree. Suddenly, Fox was beside her. I have the proof, he said. See, I have thick, lustrous fur. Feel it for yourself. Fox leaned over for Flossie to rub his back. Feels like rabbit fur to me, she says to the fox. Shucks, you ain't no fox. You rabbit, all the time trying to fool me. Me, a rabbit? He shouted. I have to show you my reputation precedes me. I'm a third-generation fox who have outsmarted, outrun Mr. J.W. McCutcheon's fine hunting dogs. I have raided some of the best hen houses from Franklin to Madison. Rabbit indeed, I'm a fox, and you will act accordingly. Flossie hopped to her feet. She put her free hand on her hip and patted her foot. Unless you can show you're a fox, I'll not accord you nothing. And without further ceremony, she skipped away. Down the road a piece, Flossie stopped by Bubbly Spring. She knelt to get a drink of water, and Fox came up to her and said, I have a long, pointed nose. Now that should be proof enough. Don't prove a thing to me. Flossie picked some wildflowers. Come to think of it, she said, matter of fact, rats got long, pointed noses. She snapped her fingers. That's it. You're a rabbit, trying to pass yourself off as a fox. That near about took Fox's breath away. I beg your pardon, he gasped. You can beg all you wanna, Flossie said, skipping down the road. That still don't make you a fox. I'll teach you a thing or two, young lady, Fox called after her. You just wait and see. Before long, Foxy came to a clearing. A large orange tabby was sunning on a tree stump. Hi, pretty kitty, the girl said and rubbed the cat behind the ears. Meanwhile, Fox slipped from behind a clump of bushes. Since you won't believe me when I tell you I'm a fox, he said stiffly, perhaps you'll believe that fine feline creature toward whom you seem to have some measure of respect. Flossie looked at the cat and winked her eye. He sure used a heap of words, she whispered. Fox beckoned for Cat to speak up. Cat jumped to a nearby log and yawned. Stretched, then she answered. This is a fox because he has sharp claws and yellow eyes, she purred. Fox seemed satisfied. But Flossie looked at the cat. She looked at the fox. Then once more at both of them, just to be sure. She said, all due respect, Miss Cat, but both y'all got sharp claws and yellow eyes. So that don't prove nothing. Except both y'all be cats. Fox went to howling and run around in circles. He was plumb beside himself. I'm a fox and I know it, he shouted. This is absurd. No call for you to use that kind of language, Flossie said, and she skipped away. Wait, wait! Fox followed, pleading. I just remembered something. It may be the situation to this horrible situation. Good. It's about time. I have a bushy tail. Fox seemed to perk up. That's right, he said. All foxes are known for their fluffy, bushy tails. That has got to be adequate proof. Ain't got to be. You got a bushy tail. So do squirrels. Flossie pointed to one overhead, leaping from branch to branch in the treetops. Here, have a bite of peach, she said, offering Fox first bite of her treat. But Fox was crying like a natural-born baby. No, 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 he sobbed. If I promise you I'm a fox, won't that do? Flossie shook her head. Oh, woe is me, Flossie hollered. I may never recover my confidence. Flossie didn't stop walking. That's just what I've been saying. You ain't got no confidence. Come telling me you was a fox when you can't prove it. Shame on you. Long about that time, Flossie and the fox came out of the woods. Flossie cupped her hand over her eyes and caught sight of McCutcheon's quarters and Miss Viola's cabin. Fox didn't notice a thing. He just followed behind Flossie, begging her to believe. Give me one more last chance, he pleaded. Flossie turned on her heels. Okay, but just this once more. Flossie tried not to whimper. But when his voice was really unsteady like, Fox says, I have sharp teeth and I can run exceedingly fast. He waited for Flossie to say something. Slowly the girl rocked from heel to toe, back and forth. You know, she finally said, smiling, it don't make much difference what I think anymore. What? Fox asked. Why? 'Cause there's one of Mr. J.W. McCutcheon's hounds behind you, and he's got sharp teeth, and he can run fast too. And by the way that hound's looking, it's all over for you. With a quick glance back, Fox dashed toward the woods. The hound knows who I am, he shouted, but I'm not worried. I sure can outrun one of Mr. J.W. McCutcheon's miserable mutts any old time of day, 'cause like I told you, I'm a fox. I know, said Flossie. I know. And she turned toward Miss Viola with a basket of eggs safely tucked under her arm. She outsmarted that old fox, didn't she? This is Flossie and the Fox.